just have to get everything squared away. So give me a minute. I have to get my phone on, like where it won't automatically turn off after 2 seconds. You know the drill. And post in different places. So give me a moment while I do that. That's because something threw me off, which it's been doing for a while, and I have a feeling it's because of like certain settings that I have in game. It just started like maybe a month ago, and that, but it was intermittent, so I couldn't like put my finger on it. And now it's happening all the time, so I have to like switch accounts, go to the other account, like get them on. It drives you crazy, and you just are always like, what? Why is this happening? So give me a moment while I get this all squared away here. So also, let's see, what else do I need to do here? I need to grab the share link so I can post it in different places. So yeah, all right, give me a moment again while I do all of that. And then you get all of the fun messages, which is great. Everybody gets on, this time of night, and that's fantastic. And I'm glad you're all enjoying your Dragon's Dogma play. Maybe you're taking a minute or two to go ahead and I want to make sure I'm in the right server. Am I in the right server? Okay. Da, 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 da. Nope, that's not it. Here we go. We'll go here, post it there. So I have a couple places to post to. Sorry about that. And then we'll get flying, and I'll let you know who I have because I have a guest with me tonight. So, because we're doing a Strider, Ranger, and Warrior. Okay, and I have a guest. And so that's pretty exciting when I get to have a guest pawn. And one last place, and it's got to go into here, and there it goes, paste. So if people are busy doing other things, that's cool. All right, they didn't let me post. All right, that's fine. I get it. Uh, all right, so we will get out of there because I can't wait for that one to click into place. Unless I didn't. Oh my goodness, YouTube, are you kidding me? All right, so then that's acting weird as well. Oh, greetings. Yeah, it's just YouTube's also acting weird too, and I'm trying to get like it to stop that. And it's because hi, evening, Mr. Misery, and it's because it is doing what it's doing. Like everything is stopping on me. Like everything. All right, there we go. Now I can see my pawns moving around. They had stopped for a second. Hello, hello, Mad God. How are you? Yes, I have your pawn with me. It took me a minute as I was sort of filling in the space here because there were other places where stuff wasn't posting all the way, and I don't know if it's because, you know, um, yeah, people are funny that way, and that's fine. Um, I get it that they're that way, and all doesn't bother me in the least. So, I don't worry about it or anything. I mean, because you just can't. Just too many things. But I have your pawn here. There she is, Rosrim. I'm hoping I say that right. Oh my goodness. It's kind of like people when they get Barahir and they're always like, golly, I don't know how to say that, so I'll just maybe say bear and I'm fine with that as well. Hi, Carla. So I just grabbed everybody, and I had to grab Kate too. Roz, okay, perfect. I'm usually pretty good with names, considering I was a teacher and I had all kinds of names that I dealt with in classroom. I taught in inner city schools for a couple of years before, I moved from that to being in a private school, and then from there to back to public schools. And so, I've seen all kinds of names, and usually, I remember as a kid like listening to teachers butcher names, and so when I became one, I what I would do is if I came to a name and I just didn't have a clue, I would just ask the student, how do you pronounce your name? And then they would tell me because um, I didn't want, and especially if a kid had a nickname, but then they have a given name, and the given name sometimes you look at it and go, oh my goodness, and you could almost see the kid too, because I taught high school. You'd see him cringing, like, oh, the teacher's gonna try, and I thought I'm not gonna do that, so I'd say, um, you know, their last name was always first, and then it would be a first name. And a lot of times it was the given names that gave me trouble more than the last names. And so I would always ask. And or as you started to pronounce it, the kid would pop in and say their name, and so I try to take my cue from kids. But let me give everybody what I want them to have. So we are going to be with my main pawn. We are on normal for those of you that don't know, because I have been through hard mode several times. Then, went for my speed run trophy. And when you get done with that, the game automatically, when you go back into the regular Dragon's Dogma, it literally puts you back in regular. If you were in hard, tough beans, it puts you back in normal. And when you get to like this many playthroughs, you're just like, I kind of don't want to have to, like start all over, especially since when it put me back, I think it started me mid game, but I don't remember because this was like a year ago when all this went down. Actually, more than a year ago. So, um, let me just give them all what I want them to have and rest because, oops, because we have had done a run the other day, and so I want to make sure that I give everybody what they need. All right, and all, and this is what's going to be fun is Roz is going to has a weapon that I have not seen on a warrior, like on a warrior pawn myself. I've seen, all of the bitter black weapons, but I've not ever seen a pawn running with Oraclus. So this is going to be like fun for me because you know me, I'll try everything. So I sent Shadow home. She did her job well the other day. I do play offline. I don't just play when I'm on, but sometimes after running like through hard mode and you're on broadcasting, you have to like decompress for an entire day. Like I can't even pick up the game as much as I love it. So, and she doesn't need any more. Kate needs some. Yeah, Kate, come on. There we go. Some for you. Now she's going to need a lot of mushrooms. And help me here because, whoops, she needs that many. Let's see here. And, okay. So you've never looked back after giving that to your pawn. So this will be good for all of you people who are considering, let's say that you are playing this and then you say to yourself, well, heck, I've got the weapons I want for my Arisen. I don't know if I really want to go through the whole purification process. Maybe you want to focus on things like armor for yourself, and you want to try some of the other weapons that are out there, then this would be like a great way to see it in action. For myself, I never really played those classes myself. No, I'll take it back. I played fighter and warrior always, and then I'll play some sorcerer. So I'll play with the off, the whatever weapons I grab as I'm going through. But generally, like I have a goal always in mind of getting to a certain point. And for myself, I'm going for pawn builds. That's really what I like to do. And so everything goes to my pawn first, and then it comes to me second. Uh, and so, you know, let's see, let's make sure Kate has it. She needs these. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to make sure she has enough there. What do we have here? Oh, so I might have been already over in bitter black and been ready to go and just didn't know that yet. Look at me. Ha ha ha. See, when you have, let's say, 4 that you're keeping track of here, 2 on the Switch, and yeah, my 1 on PC, I don't really play all that much. Then you lose track of who's where, where did you last leave them? What were they doing when you last left them? Because generally I will log out right after I finish a run through Bitter Black, and when I'm broadcasting, and then I tend not to. I'm gonna hand. You know what? We won't need that. That's for basically for Damon, anyway. But usually I don't need it. Now I say that, and okay. There we go. I knew I had a couple of lanterns here to give the girls. I say that, and as far as like I finish, and then usually when I see my pawn and Arisen standing on Bitter Black, that means I know that's where I finished, and I've got to come here to rest to reset everything. And as you know, basically, when I'm doing this too, like unless I'm in a specific place, like I can actually tell you where my switch pawn ranger is. They're on their way to Damon. That's where I ended the stream, so I know she's still sitting there in the Warrior's Respite or the Arisen's Refuge, the one area right before you go to the spar yard, and I know I have to go and finish that up. And but so I know that one at least, but some of these other ones I leave in different places too, because I also do other things like take other people's pawns around or my pawns around for bestiary knowledge, area knowledge, finishing up quests, and I'll swap in and out who I'm using, depending on what they need. And basically, at this point, Shadow and which is my mage, and Kate, which is my ranger, and Barahir, they have all of their gear. Everything's gold forged. It has been for a while, and then finally, my Arisen, who runs with Shadow, has everything. So she has the full what she has. But my gem account, which is my fighter, she plays like basically three classes there. So I play Mystic Knight on that one, and and then uh, Gem plays as a fighter or a strider when I do that. Then if I also play Magic Archer on it for really quick runs in and out of places. And when I'm farming things when I'm not on, because it just is quick, or I play Strider and run in and out really quick because I'm farming for things. And so then Gem will switch out, play like fighter again, or maybe I put her as warrior. Like she can even play ranger because she has enough stamina with rings that I can have her play ranger. So she plays any of the physical builds, just not magical. Um, so that's where we are, and it's nice when you're finished in a
What
way.
will it be today?
Um, it's nice when you finish,
Have your pick.
and by
Cover
that
going
I
through.
mean also when you finish to the point like this, where you're maxed in your rift crystals, you're maxed in items and weapons, and your arisen and pawn have the rings and the everything you want and all. Although Bear, as I explained when I did my Strider Pawn video, that she played as a fighter and a warrior, pretty much warrior all the way to level 200, and then for a while beyond that until I was pointed in the in the direction of maybe she had high enough strength to switch her over to Strider and that she'd be a really good Strider. So I did that, and she's played that ever since. And Kate was deliberate. Kate was a deliberate build. She was a deliberate. I built her as a ranger deliberately. So while she has high strength, her feature is high stamina, and I've augmented that as well. All right, let's rest because I saw my
I have
everybody
picked.
standing
Have your
there
pick.
on
What will it be
Bitter
this
Black and thought, oh, is that where I ended? And when did I end it? And what was I doing? Did I do a quick run, for
If that one, I
was
have picked.
I
Have your pick.
waiting to
What will
go
it be this
in? And I did know that when I had left it, I was actually somebody needed some items and no one was helping him out. So I had sent him some things and that's why I was there, because I could just rest really quickly using the resting bench. You know how it is when people ask you, like, hey, does anyone have, you know, items that they need? Usually it's blood red crystals, because I swear, and I knew that frustration early days when you were like, oh my God, how many strigoi must I let, like, almost drain me to death? How much RC? I suppose we could run calculations, right? Because if someone has a calculator handy, let's look. Let's see. Well, I am absolutely not going to purify like some of this stuff, as you know. Like, you'd be out of your mind to do it. Um, like, come on. 306 bitter black novelties? No. 300 novelty twos? No. I have all of the novelty threes. So, gear one? No. Gear two? And I dump a lot too. There's a lot I don't pick up. And the gear threes, I could tell you why they're really high, because I was in search of a ring. This was a while back. This had to be a good, oh, now it's a year. It's at least a year now. And people would ask me what I wanted for a gift, and I couldn't find the ring that my Arisen is wearing. I couldn't get it. I would purify all these gears. I was down to like none. I was, um, I was doing all of these crazy things, trying to get that, and finally, like, people would ask, "What do you want as a gift?" And I'm like, "Just give me a gear level 3." And they're like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yes, give me a gear level 3." Then I'd farm all the areas in God's Bane in front of every chest that possibly could hold a gear level 3, and I think I must have purified 100 gear level 3s, and this was after I realized of the ring's existence too. So before that, I obviously purified things, but then you stop because you just don't think there's that ring available. And I didn't look it up either to find out. I just thought it would be cool if there was such a ring. Didn't know that there was. When I found out there was, oh, sorry about that, Barnaby. Didn't mean to like put that arrow in your face. At least I know you won't be my beloved anytime soon. Um, well, like there's that, but you sometimes you see people, they will get those rings like right out of the gate. And I was going for a skill ring that my Arisen has, which is this one. Let's see here. Equipment. I'll show you the one. Don't laugh because I didn't know it existed. So it's this ring. So probably 299 of my at least 299 of my uh, Your Dragon online Your Dragon kills were not done with the Daggereth band. So that meant I was using 100 kisses instead. Instead of the ring I eventually, found, but which was this ring. So what I had was the one that upgraded six-fold bolt to ninefold, and it was on one hand, and the other one had explosive bolt, explosive rivet, and magical gleam on the other hand. And I tested magical gleam, and it was kind of like, waste of space for me. So, for me, so I didn't use it. And then when I made my ranger pawn, the first, let me get out of this, back. All right, so the first ring, literally the very first ring I purified, gear level 3, as a looking for, because it was going to determine whether I made like another high strength um, strider pawn, or if I was going to make a ranger pawn. I'd already thought ranger pawn because I really liked them, and I didn't have one, and all the ranger pawns I'd ever run into had combinations of skills, and I only really was interested in two, and the rest could all, and people added all these other ones, and I would see like other things in the other skills that the ranger pawns were using and combinations of skills. And so Ah, HP. So you probably are interested in getting like the chess piece one where because that was something that I found um, both for when I was making my mage pawn and when I was making my fighter pawn. And when they had on a chess piece, even the one that says, there's one that says, restore small amounts of health. And what the dragon roars and takes them down, so they come back at about 60% of their health, 50% of their health, somewhere in there. And so you go and you pick them all back up, no problem. And then the armor that allows them to slowly start regenerating their health will start. And what I saw in my fighter pawn in particular, because that's where it was readily apparent, she had the chest piece on that said restore small amounts of health. She'd get up to a certain point and literally stop and would not regen anymore of and it was the bitter black, the hellfire piece. And so I was like determined, and I'm still farming for all that for her, so that she has the full set. But pretty much as long as they have the ones that do that, that's huge. And then of course I go for the boots, and then depending on the class, the arms, what I'm looking for in the arms. Warriors and like striders, they seem to be, and fighters too, they seem to be like really efficient, I've noted. And so are mages. They're like really efficient with their stamina. So, like, they're the ones I don't worry about. But obviously, when you get them the ones that say, something about magic shields, well, a fighter or, well, a warrior doesn't use a shield. So that's kind of a useless fix. So I'm very fond of the immortal armor. That I am very fond of that as well. I like that. I had my fighter pawn in it. Um, so yeah, yeah, and I don't know. I'm really fond of, like I said, that I found when the immortal piece, when they're wearing all of it, my arms, chest piece, and legs, then they're almost like they don't go down. But then you're trading out like that bit that they can carry more. So then, it all depends on what you're looking for. I obviously put the boots on that give them more carrying, but then it offsets it with this piece here, where you have gradually restores your health. And so it immediately they go down, and people will say, well, how come they don't use like a potent green warish or green warish? And I think the health, there's a number. Don't ask me to tell you the number. The number has to fall below a certain threshold, and then they'll use like green warish or potent green warish to heal themselves. And I was running with a sorcerer pawn, and I couldn't figure out why she couldn't heal herself. And, well, first of all, she couldn't carry but more than 15 potent green warish. I wasn't carrying a healer with me in the party, so that meant she had to heal herself, and she couldn't carry very much. So the dragons would roar, down she'd go, she'd pop back up. If they roared again, it put her in the red instantly. So she'd use green warish to try to get her health up. But then she stopped healing herself, and I couldn't figure out why. And I realized that she just didn't have the piece on that let her heal herself. One, and two, she couldn't carry very much to heal herself. So we were constantly having to, and I finally just got tired of all of that, even though the skills and everything on her were really good. And in the sorcerer's defense, I'm not the best mystic knight on the planet. So, um, it's not like I can destroy things like quickly, instantly. I'm way more proficient at this. Way, way, way more proficient. I've had a lot of practice. So this is my gig, playing this. And so, but if she had the piece on that would start restoring her health, that would have helped a lot. That would have really helped a lot if that sorcerer was wearing a piece, gradually restores her health, because then she would have started healing herself, and I wouldn't have had to worry about her. All right, what do we got here? All right. So I never worry when we come into here if pawns don't do anything, usually because I get at it first. So I never worry about them here. They kind of, it doesn't matter how good or bad they are, they kind of will stand back, and I don't worry about them here. I don't think anyone really does that knows the game well, and you're into post-Damon. You're kind of like, yeah, you sort of know the areas where pawns can run into trouble, and since we've got those guys, that means we got this guy. All right. So, oh, and there's death. So I am calling the girls to me. Come back here. One last time. Don't stand there and be dumb. And I'm not talking in general because they do because of their oh, Kate. That's because she see if we can get him stuck up in the... Is he stuck up there? It would be nice if Death got stuck up in that one area. I'm waiting. I'm not going out there because, again, I've got a warrior pawn, which is a good thing, but I know what they do. They're good, but they will... If they're built right, they're going to go out there. There goes Barahir, and I don't want her going out there either. They're built right, they're going to go and do stuff, but they get a blind spot a lot of times when it comes to Death. Where is he? Okay, he's up there. Goodie for us. Now they know he's here. This is the worst possible place. Shit. Okay, that's just my pawn. Come back with me, girls. He's usually happy taking out. Come back. Come back. Come back. Come back. Okay, now we're in a good spot. All right, so that was a nice knockdown by Roz. She just knocked him right down. Only my pawn went down. She knocked him down. I saw that happen. Now, what I don't want him to do... All right. We're good. Woo! Yep. She was right around the corner, and if you saw that, he got knocked down, and that wasn't me, because my I wasn't that ricochet shot wasn't knocking him down. She was around the corner and knocked him down. She jumped up and knocked him down. Good girl. Yep. Well, when he gets stuck up there, it's so frustrating because I try to pull him back in here where it's good for the magic archer, you know, with Ricochet Bolt, because you can see Ricochet Bolt shooting off like up into this area like this. It is, people say they're OP, but if you hit Death with that one little ping, it's nothing, you know, and so you have to get him in tight corners in order to take advantage of that. So what we'll do is we'll keep going because we can grab Barahir at the next Riftstone. Let's see if we get lucky. Get a Drake. Yep. But we're on normal mode, so I don't panic. Now, if it had taken out one of the pawns, I would have Godsbaned. Because, you know, and just done a redo. God bless those things. That's where a Strider pawn comes in handy. Knocking those boys back. Alright. Well, there's another one. Yep. Come on, you. Come on up here. Nope, nope, you're not, are you? Oh. Okay. It's always good. All right. Okay.
Something feels off about that.
Yeah. Anything? Did you drop me any rift crystals? Of course you didn't. Alright, let's go grab, I don't need dragon horns. I must have a gazillion. Alright, let's go grab Barahir. I'm not going to go do the Midnight Helix. I'm just going to go grab her. And then this also, like, heals up. Yes. Yes, yes. And as you could see, he was at full health. So I had done some hunting of him. Okay, are we all here? We're all good. All in one piece. We're out of here. And moving further back. Mostly because I've run through here for other people to see, you know, what's in the chests. When he gets, there's two spots he can get stuck in the garden, I've noted. One is up top there, near kind of where he seems to be searching for you on the railings up there. And the other is he gets stuck below, right next to the door and below. And he just sort of wanders back and forth. It's great because you can kill him. So it's super great. And as a magic archer, I try, though, if he doesn't get stuck there, I try to grab his attention and pull him back. But what happens is the pawns get focused on other things. They'll get focused on the other enemies in the room, especially if the chimera, gore chimera's there, a lizard's there and stuff, and you'll hear their comments. I mean, death has appeared, and then they kind of turn their backs, and then they go to work on whatever's there. So I try to get them out of that situation, pull them back to where I'm at an advantage and death is at a disadvantage, and go from there, for sure. We'll leave. Go for it, girl. I just, sometimes I like, I love watching good pawns go to work. I mean, come on, why do I have to do all the work when I have good pawns to do all the work for me? I love it. And you know, honestly, and you did see how she used that. Yeah, did you see how she used that? So, pretty cool. And you should be. You should be proud of her. And what I thought I'd do is take one of each. And, you know, like a close fighter, one that's, you know, a warrior. So melee, true melee. And then you've got sort of mid-range, which is the ranger. And then you have the strider that can be a little bit of both. All right. I know I'm turning my back on the big guys. Okay. And letting you see your pawn, because that's always fun. All right. Go for it, girl. And then I'm like in the support role here. All right. Good job, girls. Good job.
What's that? This looks interesting.
This object is cursed.
I probably have a gazillion of those too. Oh, why did I pick that up? I don't know.
Am I alone in wishing to be out of this place?
Do I really want that? Oh, yeah.
I'll take
See?
that.
Look at that. He drops a novelty level 3. I probably picked up 1,000,000 off those guys. That's probably where I get the bulk of them. Okay. Let's go back up here. Let's see what we have awaiting us up here. Besides the boulder. Oh, no boulder. Oh. Weird. Must have been in all that fighting. Alright, let's see what we have. Golems? Golems.
Beware. New foes are coming.
And Garm. Right there. I'll leave them to attack the, Oh, and one of them. Oh, two of them here. Yeah, the golem is the least of my worries here. That guy took a leap. Alright. Oh, as if a magic archer can climb. Golly bless it. As fast as a strider pawn. Not. Look how slow he climb. And on top of his... Or did she already take out that one on... It's probably on its foot. Yep. It is. I'll grab this stuff then. Yeah, you're right. No, that's not what I want. Yeah, if you're lucky, like a lot of times. Oh, and there's a third doggo that just mysteriously probably spawned in the garden or got stuck on something. Come on, doggo. Come on over here and knock this golem over for... Oh! It'd be great if that guy, if it hit the doggo with its... That's not gonna work. Look at me laboring away. No, I'm not making a dent in that. They got rid of the dog, so that's good. While I was busy chipping away. Look at, everybody knows it's there too. That's what's annoying. All right. That's what a mage is for. They knock those suckers right over. I hate when he doesn't want to knock over. Come on. All right. Thank you, whoever did that.
This object is cursed.
Group effort. It was kind of nice though to be able to like chip away, and those guys were like, Master, don't you worry about us. We'll take out that Garm for you. No worries. The other one I don't like is the one on his hand, because sometimes when he falls, yes, you get the one on his foot, but then he falls on the one on his hand. So then it's like it's the foot one, and yeah, you're always like, man, all right, we are gone. Hope you're happy with MTP with Roz's performance, because she's doing a fantastic job.
When jumping down a ledge, that's well the distance.
Okay, there's gonna be a lizard boy coming. There he is. And yep, spit on me. That's fine. I don't care.
What else would you expect?
Strength in numbers is
No. Oh God, what's that? It's a dead fish.
What's
Oh,
this?
Master, that's got to be important. Please pick that up. I don't want the dead fish, though. But Master, it's important. And people have heard me say this before. My own pawn was a warrior, so they have a, a place in my heart because she was a warrior for a while until someone suggested, hey, if you want more rents, maybe make her a strider. And I had planned on her fully staying
I
a
wonder
warrior.
what's
So
inside.
when someone has a good warrior pawn, of course. And it was the same even with Gem, who stayed a warrior all the way to level 200, even though I knew I was gonna, like, make her... Okay, you know what? Guys, I am, like, nitpicking for Rift Crystals, which is silly, if you think about it. Let me dump off some of this stuff here. Because she can play it too, and so, like, I have a softness. And a lot of people will say, well, I don't want to. I'm not God's baning for these chess guys, by the way. Like you saw, I have like an inordinate amount of level 3 gears. So I don't need to like God's bane for more. So I have a soft spot for them, because a good one can really is every bit as good as a good fighter. That's my opinion. It's not always the popular one. Roz probably gets rented the most of your four. For some reason, I look at it like,
It seems something's written here.
oh, wow, nothing up here. Okay. Yeah, and down below is junk too. So wait a minute though. I think right around on this little shelf. This was my like fun little find one day. I'm like, oh look, there's a flask of oil next to the candles. How sweet. Well, a good warrior pawn, like and again, a good warrior pawn, like a high damage strider pawn, high damage. When I say high damage, what I mean is high strength. They can go kind of a lot of different ways. You can switch her out and have her play fighter if you want. You can switch her out and have her play, strider if you want, and everything. I think this is really cool because I've not seen one using that weapon. And you saw when she attacked that hobgoblin there, she went boom, 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 1, 2, 3 with it. It was pretty cool to watch. So,
The Wanderer, I'll speak no
yeah.
more. If you've the need,
All right,
one
let's
that
dump
please.
some of this stuff off here. I don't think, yeah, I'm the one that's probably picked everything up, the bulk of stuff. 2 novelty level 3s. Woo, this is a big profitable run, but that's really not what I'm doing here. What I'm actually doing is, all right, the 2 dead fish. Are you kidding me? All right, so she's doing well. I forgot to give her something now that I'm looking right there. It feels like I forgot to give her something, but I'm not sure what yet. I'll figure it out. I know what I'll give her to carry for all of us. 2, which I did not give. I knew I was like talking and not concentrating on everything I like to give, especially where we're going. All right, and then that's Kate. So Kate was awful busy too. All right, now I know. I can tell from that. All right, so let's make sure. I know Kate's gonna need a top off her tank. And then we'll just keep going. Okay. And that is, and I don't think, yeah, Barahir didn't even need to use any of that, so I'm not even going to bother with that. Ah, sure. I've not done enough with the barbed nails enough to know, because I know some people like to use that on their, you know, on their pawns, like, and it doesn't matter the pawn, they still give them the barbed nails. I don't know if that works on a warrior. You know, someone else would have to answer that for me. I've just never given them that ring. Looking more for things with strength, or maybe something that fills a gap in their armor, like one of their debilitation resistances with strength on it. Hard to find, but still. Um, sure, sure. The biggest monsters, Garm, Gorcyclops on hard, they would have been easily. Sure. Well, and um, I think people get a mindset and about like particular pawns and you know particular vocations, and maybe they run into one or two bad, and that's all it takes is one or two bad, and then you get a mindset. Like for example, you heard me earlier on Discord about sorcerers. Like I have one in that I really like. She's you know good, but I can't give her much, and so then she runs into trouble at times because I'm slow as a Mystic Knight. I'm not the quickest Mystic Knight. I play this far better, or I play Strider far better than I play Mystic Knight. But you know, it's fun to play because it's like the fights are drawn out and all that sort of stuff. But the problem is because I'm not killing things as quickly as maybe somebody else who's better at it. Then what happens is that that poor sorcerer gets, you know, a rap. But then I've run into bad ones too that have two lightning skills on them when one would do, especially like fulmination or something, you know, something that's really, really useful. And instead they're standing next to monsters cracking a whip, and you're like, why are you doing that? And they will do it continuously too. It's like their go-to, like they won't quit. The next room you go to, they're walking up to the Cyclops or the Condemned Gore Cyclops, and they're cracking a whip, and you're like, what are you doing? Yeah, I mean, you don't need two, you need one. And, you know, and for me, like, that's a slower player as a Mystic Knight, well, that I don't mind admitting. Um, it's, it's, uh, it's, I don't need two lightning skills because I've got Boltstorm Feint on my shield too, so that helps me. And then if they've got that, well, then that allows me to get in even closer underneath dragons, for example, and do what I need to do as a Mystic Knight sometimes. I don't think you've ever seen any warrior pawn knock down the big bads on hard, not just Raz. Hey, um, yeah, I've not seen them knock them down. I think that's why people pick fighter pawns, because they're looking for. Yep, you guys take care of that guy. I'll take care of this guy. Oops, somebody got. Oh, there came the goblin pack. Because if they don't get you from the one side, they get you from the other. So then, yay us. Got an Elder Ogre. They spawn in down below there. Let's see who's waiting for us up over here.
Ogres are bloodthirsty brutes.
Yeah, don't worry about the ogre. Let's get rid of this guy.
Now, finish it!
Place is sure death without a lantern.
Yes, that was a combo. All right.
Men with special zeal.
Two of us might hold it down.
Ooh, this one's particularly had Ugg boots on. It looked like for a second.
We have triumphed.
I'll take that. This object is cursed.
Yeah, we won't worry about the cursed stuff.
Keep the lantern dry.
Yeah, I keep the lantern dry. You guys are the silly ones with the lanterns.
Gazer. I'll begin with a song.
Come on, look up here. All right, I'll lead them to the tentacles.
Meddlesome thing.
Yeah, it's Kate. It's a meddlesome thing. You say that every time.
Show no mercy.
Meddlesome thing. I'll strike its tentacles.
Missed me. Missed me with your big thing that pokes up out of the ground. Missed me again.
Beware its gaze.
Okay.
Let's have these
Watch
tentacles.
those tentacles.
Oh, he's not mumbling yet. Okay, I moved too soon.
Our attacks do nothing.
Yep, you're right. Let me call them down here. He's focused on them on the steps, which isn't good.
I'll strike its tentacles.
He will like follow them around. I don't know why he does that, but he tends to follow the pawns around.
Watch for those
It's a weird mechanic.
Let's have these tentacles off.
meddlesome thing. Magical energy it produces. We must seal that magic. Watch for those tentacles. Now, put out its eye.
I know. We You're that well-formed party. You want to hear now, don't laugh, but I'd always traveled with a mage. You know, like I'd always gone in through Bitter Black with a mage. I think it was, you know, that early sort of when you get ripped to pieces the first time you come here, and maybe you don't like to take damage. I you know, or you die a few hundred times, or whatever it is. But yeah, so I would always run with a mage as a magic archer. Plus, they cast holy on you, and my goodness, when you have holy cast on your weapon, like, you do a lot of damage. So my friend had talked me into like, hey, take my fighter pawn, and I would always swap out Kate and take his fighter pawn, and then I'd have my mage. And finally, I said, you know what? I'm gonna swap out my mage and use. Okay, is he gonna be here? I'm gonna go in the inside here and let's see if he shows up. And so I literally one day just took a strider, a fighter, and a warrior, and or a strider, a fighter, and a ranger, and I was like, "Oh my God, holy cow, this rocks! This is so fantastic!"
This pawn feels mighty
And
pleased
it
with
it
its
was,
existence.
and I had what it had boiled down to was I didn't have faith in my own abilities to get through stuff. Not in the least. So it wasn't about the pawns or anything. It was all about me. And once I realized that I could do this, wait, I was taking other people's pawns through here that were low level and all that sort of stuff. I never thought it was me. I was like, oh, it's the pawns. And that it's a combination of those things. You know, it's a combination of you and being able to figure out what the enemies do, the pawns that you have with you, like all of it. It's all of it. Because I do realize people play it solo. I, I I love the pawn system, so I don't. And that's not to take away from people who want to go solo or who want to go with just their pawn and nobody else's. It's not to take away from that at all. Because again, in the end, I always say it, it's a single player game, so you can play it however you want. But there's no other game I know of off the top of my head that I play that has something that's so independent like this that somebody else made, like like Roz. I wouldn't know her if it wasn't for you. And I can have seamless combat, so play the whole time while we're in combat, and I don't like have to hit a button like this and then kind of click on each one of these characters and move them to a position, then unclick, and then they go into motion where I want them to go. They just do it. They just play. So it feels like you're there with sort of your friends in a cool way. And I don't have to wait for anybody to like get home from work to play. I can play when I want. Um, I don't have to. I can enter a dungeon with whoever I want, like however I want my party to be. It could be, obviously it can't be four magic archers, but you know what I'm saying. Like I can go in here with pretty much whatever I want. And I kind of like that about the game. It's
You
so
must be
unique.
well bored of your aunt to be wasting
No,
time
she's
here.
really good.
Or well confident.
Oh, you were?
If you've
Oh,
the need and the coin, what'll it be?
she's good. She's good. I'm here to attest to that. She's good. Now, again, I'm not on hard mode, but I don't see her performance to be any different on hard mode. If anything, you know what I've noted about hard mode, and I bitch about it all the time. People know this, that I will bitch about it, and that is that. Well, she picked up some sleeper arrows from, and that is that it's harder on the Arisen than it is on the pawns. Like the pawns, hard mode is hard mode. They don't. They seem to. They seem fine, but then the Arisen are the ones that like pay the price in hard mode, if anything. Like and that's my crab all the time
What'll it
about
be?
it.
If you no dying now.
The only time you ever saw yours in another person's party, I just knew he would embarrass me. Oh yeah, I remember someone hiring my pawn, and I'll use your pawn, kind of a thing. And I was like, oh, it's my girl, that's my Barahir, and I was like, oh God, and I just like, and then I was like, oh, she's doing exactly what she kind of does in my game, which is, just like uh, enemies move away, if a pawn starts a move like Brain Splitter, if the enemy moves out of that range, then your pawn is going to miss. It's the same with a warrior pawn. If they move in to do something that's a big move and the enemy moves away, that's not on your pawn. The enemy moves away, and it's the same kind of with a ranger pawn too. She'll do things, and I see it in my own game. I'll see her climb, and I don't like it, but I can't stop her. She has daggers, and even if I took them away, she'd probably climb and punch. So why not give her a fighting chance, right? So the party with him in it was Eradication Plane. I have your pawn on my PC, by the way. We're in a party together. Yeah, it's really cool when someone, your pawn is in there and they're like doing these amazing moves and you're just like, yeah, that's my pawn. That's my pawn. I built it right. You know, I did a good job. Come on, walk back here. I know. Now, the other thing I will note, so I was facing the wrong way, is that, let me check something really quick. I hope you don't mind. I didn't do this beforehand, so that was on me, but okay, and that makes sense. So, where pawns stand is a function too of like their inclinations, like where they stand even when I cast like magic rebalancer. Oh great. God, I hate when I get this choice. Because I really hate these guys, like a lot. Because this is the stuff that takes pawns over the edge. Especially like Strider, pawns, and... So I try to take these guys right out of the equation right away. And then we don't have anybody toppling over an edge. Oops. There's the one guy right there. All right.
That's all.
We have triumphed.
Yeah. No. I think, yeah, you bit me. Now, I have been trying to get these doggos because my pawn needs, my fighter pawn needs 3 stars on these guys. And I think I got to the point in, you know, where I just didn't get them enough, or I don't know. All right. I think we're out of here. No. What I was just trying to point out, too, is that based on pawns' inclinations is where they're going to stand in relation to when I cast Magic Rebalancer. So if I face the wrong way, pawns will walk a different way than where I want them to. It has nothing to do with your pawn. It has everything to do with where I'm going to cast that Magic Rebalancer. And a lot of times I tend to walk up to a door really closely and cast it. Because I'm not thinking of them. I'm only thinking of me. Alright. Now, I'm not dumb enough to open these chests up without the pawns up here with me. I'll open it now. That way they can take out whatever's here. Okay, if anybody else wants to pick that up, sure, I'll pick up some coin. Alright, so that means... this guy's got to go right here. And I know there's another one on the ground out there. I always forget about him. And the Lich, he's right there. I love how sometimes they'll call him an undead Grand Wizard too. Alright, and then that guy can go. And I think there's another one, which means I got the poisoned undead option here. Where's the other poisoned undead? I don't see it yet. There it is. God, that one's sneaky. Because he doesn't pop up till you cross over him. And that's the one that I forget about, and the pawn, he always topples over the edge with the pawn. Irritates me to no end. Alright.
Stay vigilant. Places unremarkable.
I know, sometimes they call him, it's a Lich, and sometimes it's an undead Grand Wizard. And for the longest time, don't laugh, I thought they would say, it's an undead Ground Wizard. I'm like, what's an undead Ground Wizard? Oh, Grand Wizard! Oh, I guess, you know, that's the difference between a Lich and an undead Grand Wizard. I don't know what the difference is, but... Alright, let's keep going. Yep, but you guys aren't wounded because I took out all the poisoned undead for you. So nobody went over the edge. Which would have been either probably the Ranger or the Strider. They would have gone over the edge. They tend to like to jump on top. Yes, girl. Saved my butt. Thank you. Go for it. Oh, that's up to me. All right. Nice. I got to do that. And that's the other reason I hate coming here. God. These things. Those. And then there's this. That's not a problem. Is there another one? Or I forget this sort of. Oh, yep, there's another. Yep, I gotta hit him just right. Okay. Oh yeah? Casting a fire boon on pawns prevents them from climbing poisoned undead? Oh, cool. Nice to know. Because I've started going back to... Alright, so... And there is a poisoned undead. So I've started running my Mystic Knight with, like, enchantments. Simply because I found I wasn't using one of the... Oh, no. There's a nice hit. Alright. Simply because I found I wasn't using one of the... I think it's the freezing feint. I forget what it's called. I just wasn't using it that much, and it wasn't useful here. So I thought, well, let me switch out for another. I'm leaving those guys to handle all this stuff here. I can talk, and they can kill everything. Yay! How much fun is this? I don't have to do anything. Leave it all up to the pawns. Yeah, I did not know that. So, you know, you have the Bolt Storm feint, and then you have the fire, the fire feint, and then, or the fire block, and then you have the freezing one, right? So, the freezing one I noted didn't really do much for me. Like, I wasn't a big fan of it. So I was like, okay, what to put on as like another skill. So I got rid of the freeze and took Blessed Trance, you know, so I could enchant myself as a Mystic Knight, because that seemed to be really helpful, because I could just do it. I know it takes a little bit of time, but I could just do it. I've got the arms that like allow me to keep the enchantment a little bit longer and all of that. And I noted that the fire would just sort of do a poof of fire, but it wouldn't really destroy a whole lot of enemies. The Bolt Storm one is really helpful because that does a lot of damage. The fire wasn't doing that much. And, you know, to be fair to myself, I'm not like a high magic Mystic Knight either. I'm just sort of equal. So I thought I put fire on and was self-enchanting fire and or holy. And I know that people say they're kind of interchangeable. Like whatever's weak to fire is probably weak to holy, but I was using it situationally, and I really liked it. And it was so I wouldn't have to carry so many weapons, because I got tired of carrying every single weapon. Something for fire, you know, which was very situational again, where like Eden's Warden, but you wouldn't need it all the time, and you know, so you just got tired of that. So toss and trigger and the like don't override the urge to climb for the head. Gotcha. Well, crap. You just got lucky for a while. Oh well. So toss and trigger and the like don't override the urge to climb. Yep. And so if you look at, we'll just look at everybody's skills. We've got a minute or two here, so we'll look at everybody's skills so you can see. She's just got 2 on the, she's got Thousand Kisses and Brain Splitter. And again, I could even probably, I'm at the point where I may even take Thousand Kisses off her. Except that, you know, when I play as Magic Archer and she climbs things, it's pretty handy and she's high strength. And Fivefold Flurry, that's another one that might go out the door. She likes to use it on the Gazer, but it does get her hired, so I've left it on her. But I'm at that point. These have been working for me as far as like in my game. Roz, so P, she's been working for me. And then Kate has 4. She's got 100 Kisses and Instant Reset. And it's only because for me at least, it's just a different build. So my Ranger pawn has a different build, like augment wise, than my Strider pawn does. So I've given her something because if indeed she does climb, and no skills, because it's kind of like there's a, you know, if you look, right? If you look, and I think I went over that, I don't have it, but we'll look at Barahir, and I betcha, um, uh, because they've got these core skills, and for a warrior pawn too, they have, well, let's see, let me get out of here. I mean, they have really good core skills. Like warriors are powerful. They're powerful. All right, let me stand back a bit because now we're going into the room from hell. But you know what? These guys all are, and that's a +2. Okay, so I do think all 3 of these, Roz, Kate, and Barahir, I think they're all like there's something else that's to be said. I think that has to be said. We'll use it Barahir though, so I don't. And that is that like their bestiary. Oh, my phone, are you kidding? So I said bestiary and my phone thought I said Siri. That's funny. So, and the only one she's missing is the seneschal. Well, you know, I'm in my 5th game. I am not going to the seneschal again. Oh, hey, P, I I love your pawn. So from my point of view, she's like awesome. Now I'm going to take her with me, although probably not. Probably what I'll do is take your ranger with my ranger, right, and have dual rangers running together and switch up a few things. Like there's a lot of fun I can have. There's just a lot of fun I can have because, like I said, I usually like to run if I can, like a something up front, like a fighter or a warrior. Then you have mid-range, which is like a ranger, and then you have a strider that can kind of easily transition between the two, where they're sort of they can be up front and they can also kind of hang back a bit. That's why I like a good mage pawn too, because they also kind of function in a good one functions in a way. Yes, they heal, but they can also function in a way as sort of a mid-range fighter. It's really weird. At least that's for me anyway. Like I expect them to fight. I don't want them to just heal and remove debilitations. I expect them to fight. This is like my least favorite map. Alright, what do we got here? Birdos? Okay. Well. Come on, Roz. Come down here by us. Or the Birdo's gonna try to isolate you there. We worry about... They'll start worrying about the, everything, like they'll see that, golem down there, and then they'll start shouting about it, and they'll start ignoring the birdos. And I'm trying, and no amount of me doing anything changes that. All right, that's not for me. I've got to get away. This is why I like Mystic Knight right here for this. Couple of smacks and those things are gone. All right, we will. Yeah, no, grabbing it doesn't do diddly do. We need to get rid of the birdos. Yes, let's, shall we? Okay, there with my lantern. All right. Oh, I hope not. I hope I don't. I hear the birds, but they seem to be not focused on me at all. They're like wanting to go after Roz a lot, I see. All right. Now she can get to work. There's another one, but we're not going to worry about it. Oh, there it is. All right, well, all right, so that's everybody there, right? So that leaves us down with here. Did they get rid of this one? Where's that one? Oh, right here. Yeah, and the problem why I try to get rid of the birdies is because then the pawns tend to, like, not go after these things. Come on, let me stand in the right spot. Alright, now he's gone. Nope, don't be grabbing it, Barahir. We just need to get rid of the other bird. There's one last birdo. Just following her around. Just really persistent about that. Really following poor Roz. Poor thing. She's like, dang, I couldn't even get one hit off. Those things wouldn't leave me alone. She'll have her revenge. Oh, pecan pie. Yes, my favorite. My favorite. Oh, I love pecan pie. You know what else I love? Too, and that's what okay, so the other thing I'm getting excited about is stuffing mashed potatoes and gravy, because I really don't eat it all the rest of the year. All right. Okay. Now see, she is knocking it back with that. Okay, so we've got a goblin. She kind of, when she hits it, it gets knocked back. I love stuffing and gravy and mashed potatoes. I could, turkey's fine, but I really just, and green, well, any vegetable that we'll have. So if we have acorn squash, that's another one. I love, listen to me, I'm already like, cauliflower or green, the green bean bake with the crispy, fried the crispy mushrooms. But that's relatively new. That's not something I like grew up with, but still, I'll eat that too. And if someone says, "Hey, do you want turkey?" By the time I get my plate just situated with all of that, I usually don't even need the turkey. All right, now those these guys are gonna... I'm surprised there's just that guy. Oop. There's the other guy. Alright. I'm hardly having to work here. I'm able to chit-chat away, and the pawns are like... The most work I had to do was in that other room. That's funny. Any more? Nope. Sometimes you get... I'm grabbing all this, but, you know. Alright.
Let's have a look.
Well, and there was a trend for a while of, and I'm sure people still do it, which is, you know, turkey done in the deep fryer things, you know, the fryers. And I never liked that turkey as much because it would be so almost chewy on the inside, not dry, but the other way where it wasn't done enough. It always something, you know, people stuff things in it. We're having Chipotle turkey. I'm like, why? Why? I can have Chipotle like every other day of the year. This is the one day we have turkey, basically. Please give me like traditional turkey. I know, right?
Sounds available if we hope to survive this place.
I wonder what's inside. Let's have a look.
Yep, that's exactly right. That is exactly right, Kara. You have to like, or you have to take the time to like open up the oven and baste a little, you know, for sure. Are there more lizards? All right. All right, girls, up here. Yeah. Yep, you got a base. You have to. You can't just... Oh, yeah. I love it when that happens right there. I know I don't need any more, but still, I love it. And a lift stone. Ha ha ha.
I wonder what's inside. I wonder what's inside.
This looks interesting.
Let's have a look. Treasure, perhaps.
Go ahead, Roz. All right. Yes, Maker's Finger is. Hi. Go, girls. Okay, let me see if I can... Oh, there went Kate. I knew she would. Kara, isn't that the truth?
The survival.
It is not defeat
About
to flee,
about the online you're
it is survival.
I well, and then there okay, so kind of depends on you know, because there are some people that I'm gonna phrase this as best I can because someone will end up sending me a nasty message. So there are some people that check it every half an hour, and that's their life. That's what they do,
What's that?
and they wait till someone gets it down to a certain point, and then they jump in. It's what they do, and all, and that's fine, you know. And so it's better to keep track of Grace if you can, because then you kind of know, or keep track of its health if you can, if there's a place to do that. Then there's the whole thing. Yeah, and well, I'll take you there, because
Dark grows deeper, thicker.
I'm not sure what generation. Hey, Demandre, I just saw your post. Sorry, like I just realized things went by, and we're on generation 1,400, and it was 76 the last time I checked, so it's pretty high here, for sure, very high.
You feel that? Something
And
grievous dark is
there
stirring
are
within the
people
bowels of
who
the
check
earth
it and
below us.
post like the health updates. So that gets posted on GameFAQs for PlayStation 4. But there a lot of the people that hunted it regularly sort of have gone on to play other games, and so when they do jump in, they'll jump in to check. But for a while it was really faithful. Like it was really faithful, but there's a lot of people who don't post Grace or let anyone know. They get a Grace kill and they don't tell anyone. So no one knows, and the next thing you know, the next post you'll see will be something like um gee, I guess it got killed last night, I don't know when, but it did. And, and that happens too. I mean, but it's mostly well tracked here on the PlayStation, yeah, game facts. And so, but it was really regularly tracked for, I would say, a good long while. And then our main hunter here on the PlayStation 4 kind of retired. He came back in October for about a month. And as I'm saying this, he might be even listening. I don't know. But he came back for about a month around the anniversary. And so things went back to regular again, where Grace was getting regularly posted and everything. And then once he moves off to do other things, then it's not as regularly posted. And the people who are actually getting the kill aren't posting Grace. So you do have that, and then
There's
that
the
makes it
stuff.
hard.
Just what
So that
if
means that
you've
if
the
you want
wind and the
a
pulling,
kill, you have to go
I've the
check it
wares.
yourself. And I kind
Wouldn't
of
it be
I
then?
don't really regularly hunt it anymore myself, because I'm over here doing these things instead. Um, and I don't want to stop what I'm doing over here to go check Grace. Although I kind of have an idea, or I did. I don't as much anymore. Like I said, because it becomes a thing. Then it becomes what you do all the time. Yeah, we're not picking up all of the great stuff, but that's okay. The girls are getting it done. Yeah. Well, and then people said, "How come you're not hunting it on the Switch?" And it was because I did it so much here, and after a while, it does. It takes up like all of your time, and then you're constantly like checking on it all the time. So I'm like with you on that, Kara. I just can't. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't. Yes, it's nice when, say, oops, I did not want to do
What'll it
that.
be then?
It's nice when you kind of know about it, but then it becomes all you do, and then you're defined by it. And then there's literally sometimes a target that gets painted on your back. Yeah, once you shoot the Maker's Finger, or then he immediately replenishes. So you shoot it, and then the Maker's Finger, you go back to Fornable, but you can't stock up on them. Like, you can't buy 30 of them at once. You have to use it, then he restocks. Use it, then he restocks, and so on. Yeah. So you'll find, like here, sometimes
What'll
people
it be then?
have not just one pawn, but they'll have six, 5 or 6 pawns all hunting the Ur dragon, each one carrying a Maker's Finger. So then theoretically they can shoot out 6 hearts. And then as soon as they use the one, they go in with the second one, use the Maker's Finger, go in with the third, the fourth, the fifth, and by the time that's all done, they're back to their first account, and they've bought Maker's Fingers, and they can do other things. There's other things that people will do. Yeah, and then there's that too. Because I would respec my Arisen every time. I finally got tired of it. All right, we're good. Well, and as you can see, let me see. I've always bought one. Where is it? It's in special, or is it? Yeah, is it here? No, I know where it is. It's in tools. There it is. I bought one, but I've never used it on the Ear Dragon. Like, there's other ways to get it done. Yeah, and that's exactly why I bought it. I bought it for a speed run, and it gets it done, and then you're out of the speed run. That's exactly why I bought it, so I could get my trophy. But of course, you use it, and then it's great is then it replenishes right back in your inventory. That's what's great about it. So, right. Yep. 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 Exactly. So that you're like cycling through it, it's like hard to you put it exactly correctly. I don't know, those are
What'll
some
it
of the
be then?
easiest ones to hit. That's me.
If you've no die.
So, is this a discussion of the Ur Dragon or what here that's going on? Yeah, I was just gonna say, kill him when he lands. He puts it right down, almost like in front of you. Yep. All right. Are we good? Oh, so Kate is heavy. What does she still have on her?
Hermine, pray permit me to, if there is aught.
No. Aha. I'm looking back at the conversation. Doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter how strong your bow is either. Strider, ranger, or assassin can do it. Stab.
If there is pray, pray.
Wait, now I'm reading gossip. The Barba, you know, the one he accused everyone else of cheating when he used it. So, oh, golly.
Knowing a rift stone
Yep,
is
that's what you do.
welcome relief. We can still return to the surface. Let us not allow ambition to be our end.
And also, may I add, golly, this is the same thing I had the other night, these guys. Like, it kind of depends on how active, like, your dragon stuff is. So here, it's super competitive on the PlayStation 4. Super competitive. And, so I would say it's, I don't know the number because I haven't checked GameFAQs for quite some time. Maybe it's been 2 weeks now since I last looked. That's why I said I didn't really know the number. I think I looked one day. Gosh. Okay, so this is the crummy sort of stuff. Yeah. And it's super competitive. And Kara, I'll send you sort of a like a thing, a message. It's not only that. It's not only that, but other things too.
If you
Oh,
feel exposed
all right.
beyond our means, there is no shame in fleeing. Strain your eyes against the dark. We may not be alone.
No, he's coming for me. Alright, yay, thank you.
I'll take that.
And your ills are cured.
Whoa, that was quick.
Best you can.
Oh, more cool stuff.
This object is cursed.
I am stuck in a weird animation. Okay, there we go. And junk.
Treasure, perhaps.
Yeah, he's not my beloved here. He's my beloved just about everywhere else, though. It's the stash.
A knight in silver arisen.
The golden knight.
And it's like the feel of this place.
I'm leaving these guys. Let's see what they are up
The
to.
knight of gold is fierce and strong.
Is all the gold knights splendid?
Go for it, Kate. Oh.
Is there some way to break the silver one's heart?
No way. Lost like that.
Who's back there? Okay, gotta wait for that to end. Good, good.
Let's have a look.
Eliminator.
Yep. It is, girls. It's the Eliminator. Let's go. Actually, I want this. Knock that bad boy back. Knock him back before he goes nuts. Knock him back. I can't make up my mind. That's why I'm like, which one do I want? All right. More birdies. All right. Well, she did try to go after the siren there. I think she's more at an advantage when she's got... Waiting for a turnaround, you jerk. Knock his head off. I need his head off. I need that helm off. Come on. stick your head in here. Not gonna happen this time. Now we got his helmet off. Now he's dead. Alright. Now I'm not farming armor or anything, so I'm not going up to those areas, you know, because I don't need to. So I'm just killing what comes here, mostly because I don't need to. Okay, don't need that either. Alright, so do I sick the girls?
This object is cursed.
Go for it, girls. The joys of being on normal. You hardly use any stamina whatsoever. Okay, am I gonna have to be the one that climbs it? Look at that ugly face.
I'll get that eye before it can shake me. I'll scale its head.
I'll take its sight.
I've a hold on it. Strike at the eye. I'll climb to its head.
I'll grab it where it's weakest.
Pull it off. Pull that thing off. Go ahead, girls.
Its helmet is off.
Wow, lots of questions. Kind of putting people on the spot, don't you think? A little? Just a little? I don't know, that's just me though. I know people ask me stuff and I think, why? Why ask?
This looks interesting.
Oh, so is that an Xbox 360 thing?
What's this?
What's that?
There's a tangled
Xbox
knot of
360
paths
drama?
We'll miss
we
this
prepared well.
place when we move on.
Okay, guys, I'm not going up to go get armor. I'm just sort of a spectator in my own broadcast here. Kind of... Yeah. Okay. So, gotcha. It's like we have PlayStation 4 gossip, too, that people wouldn't get. So when I try to explain, like, why certain things are when it comes to certain things that go on here, they're just like, oh, just do this. And it's like, yeah, but it's part of the, like, scene.
Let's have a look.
Alright, I did not want that novelty, but, you know, it's not like I need rift crystals or anything. Or armor, or even that gear. Because people will come in mine and ask me, oh, are you friends with so-and-so? And, like, Aha. Gotcha.
Let us continue our exploration using this stone as a hub. The scent of beasts is thin here. We should be comparatively safe.
Rather, if you've the need and the coin, what'll it be then?
Yeah. And sometimes, um, for whatever reason, there's other things that happen. And, oh, I had a staff. I could have gone up there, but I don't feel like it. How's that? Because I know another place I can easily farm, and so I'm just going to go there rather than bother with, like, the places that take forever. People get an idea in their heads, and then they decide for whatever reason that you're getting in their way, and say really nasty things that don't need to be said,
What'll it
because
be
once
then?
they're
If
said, they
you've the
can't be
need and
unsaid.
no dying.
That's my opinion. Everybody hates you, everybody this, everybody that, and they don't know. Because I've had someone tell me that everybody hates me. Okay.
It seems something's written here.
Why am I down here? Oh, for this, because it's habit. Alright. I don't need any of the other stuff. I'll drop this off too. We will go.
Rather, if you've the need and what'll it be then?
Alright. Well, once someone tosses out the I hate you and everybody hates you, that stuff can't be unsaid, you know? And, they get an idea in their heads. And again, like I said, once it's said, then you just think, well, wow, wow. And you just got to be careful about stuff. All right, let me see here. Do we even need? Yes, we do. Let me pull this out. Let's go back here. Do I need any of this? Yes, I do, just in case for the final boss. And Barahir did use up this. I'll give it to Roz. She's good at that. I think they're gonna need this too. Oh, why? How did that go there? All right, that's my bad. Let me deposit this because I'm sort of got one eye on the board, and what people are saying and all. Well, and they don't. Sometimes people say those things, and they don't realize that that's like stabbing someone, like, you know, and you think, wow, wow, where did that come from? And everybody this and everybody that. Wait, who's everybody? You're everybody? The world? Everybody, as far as I know, is like world. So, and then everybody, wait, in my world? Because in my world, meaning like where I am, in so far as like perhaps not in the world of Dragon's Dogma. There's everybody, and then you got to think of all the platforms it's on. It's on Xbox One, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PC. I don't know everybody on PC. I certainly don't know everybody on PlayStation 3 anymore because my PlayStation 3 died a long time ago. I don't know everybody on the Switch, and I know, um, not everybody. Obviously, only like 3 or 4 people on Xbox One, and that's only because of Discord. That's the only reason I know them, and so everybody. What does that mean? And then when I ask, when you're asked, maybe you ask, well, what do you mean, or where does that come from? And then they can't answer you. Just everybody, and you're this, and it'll all come out, and you think, what will come out? I have no clue what they're talking about. But that's you. That's you. Hey, Knox. you know, Sorry, I've got a message coming, and then that blocks across my screen. You probably see it as a black bar, you know, um,
What'll it be then?
because here on the PlayStation 4, so I moderate 2 communities, and I'm the active moderator out of everybody. I'm pretty active, and apparently a thread got deleted, and so immediately they come to me like, "Did you delete my thread?" Which I didn't do. I didn't even wasn't even aware of the thread that got deleted. So then I'm like paging through looking for it, and we can't tell who deletes what. It's not like other places where maybe something gets deleted and you can see it. I'm like, wow, I didn't see it, and um, well, you actually saw it, so you know,
What'll it be then?
anyway, but that's not what I'm here about. So that flashes across there. So you have to be careful because, like, we're trying to, like, eventually this game, hopefully we get a sequel. We don't know how that sequel's going to play out. Is it going to be more of this? Is it going to be more of, like, are they going to put guilds in it? Is it going to be like Monster Hunter World? Is it going to be like a Final Fantasy thing? And there, or in any MMORPG, it definitely, like, people shift around and change alliances and all that sort of stuff. And I don't want to see what happens on MMORPGs come here, because one of the best things about Dragon's Dogma, as far as I can see, what I liked about it was when you put in a request like, "Hi guys, I just joined this community. My name is so and so. I really need a blood red crystal." And then if you just wait, someone will help you. People help you. Obviously, if you're level 10 and you're like, "Hey, can someone give me a level 3 weapon?" People are gonna maybe make a few jokes or whatever, and tell you to level up a bit more, whatever the case might be, or even explain how level 3 weapons works, especially if you're new to the game, you've never played it before, and all that sort of stuff. So it's like one of the best communities I've ever belonged to. And I do belong to, and there's one other group that I belong to, another game that I play that I belong to on the PlayStation 4, and that's another great community as well, with people being super helpful and letting you know, like, hey, here's the order you play the games in, and all that sort of stuff. So, but like MMORPGs can be like, you need a thicker skin. I found that out, like that I had to have a thicker skin when I played it. All right, now I wanted to give somebody that. Okay, then I have that, and then I have that, and then I'm going to move along here. So, and it's definitely nothing like this game, insofar as how people are. Yeah, people are really helpful. You know, um,
What'll it be then?
they'll, you know, at least that's
If you've no die.
All right, we're on our way. I think the girls are good. We're on normal anyway. It's not like I'm not like... Onward we go. We need to get rolling here.
It is too dark. Is the makings of a beacon fire outside? We need but
I don't know. There's some items, like I was saying earlier. I cannot even tell you like how long I farmed when I first, you know, returned to the PlayStation 4 to play the game. How long I farmed trying to get blood red crystals. How long, and finally I gave up because I was just spending a ton of time trying to get it. I just couldn't get it. And I joined a community, I introduced myself, and I said, you know, I'm really struggling trying to get this. Can someone help me?
I'll take that.
And a guy did. Like, sure,
Strain
you know,
your eyes against the dark.
I'm going to
You
let
may not
them
be alone.
open these chests.
Treasure, perhaps.
Oh, I hear him. He's right there. He's like right there. Watch, if I shoot this. I gotta be careful because... Oh, okay. Yeah, this is when you get the crummy chest. He's right there. You can see his lantern lighting up right there. Oh, look. Let me see if I could actually hit him some more. I'm trying to remember what I was playing on today where I had him... Oh, that's the Cyclops now. Okay. So, let's see if he comes creeping, crawling up the steps, because we almost have him dead.
Shall we head this way?
There he is. Gonna spawn in up here, sir? You already took out a pawn earlier. I'm waiting. You could see his doggone sight shard right there. Oh, is this one of those where he... He did. Okay, bad on me. I got put to sleep.
Awaken! The lantern shines.
And
Hold on, I'll be there shortly.
And your ears are cool.
he healed himself. So... Oh no, he was... See, this is where I get confused, where I have like multiple death and multiple sort of states of death, if you know what I mean. And you're like, which one did I just kill? Which one is at full health? There you go, you had those two girls right there. They're baddies. I like my Ranger Pawn too. She is like super excellent against the Ur Dragon, but doggone aren't those two girls baddies right there.
Blackest dark I've ever known.
No, Death took out... Hang on a second, guys. I gotta do something really quick. Sorry. Just a minute. Gotta do something really quick. Oop, all this stuff moved on. Okay, let me go to this really quick. Never mind. I'm out. I don't have time. I don't have time. Don't have time. Don't have time. All right, there we go. All right. Let's get this guy out of the way. All right, that guy's gone. Let's move along.
This object is cursed.
This looks interesting.
I'll take that.
Ooh, another gear.
Until its curse is undone.
Okay, let's go. In the door, because otherwise they all stand under the waterfall and get wet, because they're pawns. That's what they do. Let me... Oh! Is that me, or hopefully...
Tis a welcome surprise.
Well, Shadow, I hope what you like to have to say, what she says about pawn inclinations, though. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Let's get this bad boy out of the way. Stuck right there, which is good. Go for it. Come on. Some wicked damage going on right there. There was some wicked damage that just went down right there. Now granted, you know me and Drake's. If I can get away from doing them, I will, because just they're a pain.
If you feel a foe is beyond our means, there is no shame in defeat.
What's
Neither
this?
trust nor fulfill
To
any
survive.
foe stronger than they.
Advance slowly where visibility is poor. Will give us time to react.
What other classes?
A well-formed
I
force
still
is not
say
even foes stronger.
mage pawns, utilitarian, challenger, mitigator, mitigant. I don't go for the putting challenger first or mitigator first at all. I don't buy that at all. Well, I am on normal, so there's that. And I'm not going on the chess, or until I get to Forgotten City. And this is my favorite account out of all of them to play on. And for some reason, oh, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, this is my main account, and I am on normal tonight. And it had... Yep. I explained all at the beginning of the stream. Why? So this is my new game plus 5.
I'll take that.
So a long time ago, when you go for your speedrun trophy, if you're in hard mode and you get out of your speedrun trophy, it kicks you back into normal. Doesn't matter. Like it doesn't put you back into hard mode. It puts you back into normal. And you know, like going through speedrun is like another playthrough in a way. It's quicker because there's a lot of things. Sorry, I thought I heard the chimes of death. It's quicker in that I thought in that, you know, there's so many shortcuts and people you can just kill and all of that sort of stuff. I have a hard time in the game doing that. And also, when I found out that it didn't really matter how fast you went, then, you know, because there are people who are literally like on the leaderboard for this, like in listed somewhere, Dragon's Dogma somewhere, or there's a leaderboard for them and stuff. And I just figured, hey, oh god, 2 novelty level 3s? No, 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 no. Alright, let me pass this off. So, you know, you're just kind of like, eh, and I had wasted a playthrough on normal. So, in other words, I had started on normal, played through on normal, wasted a playthrough on normal when I went to New Game Plus. So I went through hard mode like all of those other times. And I just didn't feel like going through another playthrough, like going through the whole main game to get, you know, all of that. I just didn't feel like doing it, especially since at that point I was on a alt account as well. Like I was making my ranger. And so that was on hard already. I just didn't feel like doing it. And I think, again, I'll say it again, you know, it's a single player game. People can be on whatever mode they want to be. Yeah, it's why I won't, and plus also, I want my hard mode trophy for Kate. So I'm on a new game plus because I thought I'd play through on hard, but apparently I didn't. So, I mean, I'd reached level 200 on hard, and I think I must have, I don't know what I did, because it's been a year and a half, so I don't remember. And, uh, and I thought, oh, I don't care about this, that, and the other thing on that. And then I started to care that I really wanted the hard mode trophy part. I don't care about speed run or the hero trophy on an alt account or anything, but I did want the hard mode trophy because I'd played through on hard mode, and I thought, what the heck did I not do? And obviously I hadn't finished the game on hard mode, so I hadn't gone to the seneschal. So I finished the game, and now I'm on another playthrough, which means then to get my hard mode trophy, I have to start over again. So that means I have to go to the seneschal on hard mode, no problem, and start the game over again. So that's Kate, and then again you work your way through to where you get, you know, to where you have stuff done. Then you don't have to really, it doesn't really matter what goes on, but I'm sort of like OCD about it. So I like to be in post Everfall, like post Dragon. That's where I like to be, which means, you know, you have to do things over here too, in other words. So you have certain things that can be done pre-dragon and other things that can't be done until you're in post-dragon. So that means you got to go to the dragon again, which isn't hard because you know, you're level 200 and all of that good stuff. So it's just a pain, and I still have to do that for, I don't know if I have to do that for Shadow, or no, not Shadow, but Gem. It's just an important little detail for me. Other people don't care about it. I do. So sometimes it's nice to have one place where you're just like, yeah, I can just run through this. And this was my your online Your Dragon hunting account. So if you're in hard mode, it just switches you to normal when you go into that, and I just left it there. I just, you know, Not a biggie. Oh god, I hate when the like ninefold bolt just won't hit him if you're just won't hit him in a certain spot. Come on, girls, get to it. There we go. Yeah, you know, once you do this game as many times as I have, and not just to make new builds, but to maybe make new pawns and then get all their gear and all that, you just sort of, you just don't want to play the story again. Just not again. Now, let's say this was my only platform. Let's just say this was it. This is all I had. PlayStation 4, that's it. Then maybe, you know, maybe I would have made a choice. Yeah, there's two. There's... Let's pop that guy down. Ooh, nice. Ah! I knew he was going to do that. Ah! I knew he was going to, like, kick me up because he didn't want to be there. No, the Amazing Shadows ones, that's Chivi's. Kara, that's Chivi's. So, that's like a Monster Hunter World one. And Chivi's sort of my, like my, how do I want to put it? Like, the first person that talked me into, like, helped me out with stuff. As far as, like, setting things up. Why? So I have them, two of them there on my channel stuff, and his clearly says Chivi's. Because his will say Chivi's Dragon's Dogma or Discord. Chivi's Discord actually is what his says. And that's the Amazing Babes one. And he's a PC player. Ooh, Liquid Beam. Sure. Alright, so now we start save scumming right here. Well, I'm doing this because we had a discussion earlier today. Shadow on our PlayStation 4 communities, and the guy had said he couldn't get Sanguine stock. So I had pointed him. His Whisper 1, 2, 3 has the like sort of the quickest one you could like speed through and get to the chest you want to see. And where I had told him where all the weapons chests were, but then I sent him to Whisper's YouTube video on where they are so he could see them for himself. And he opened the chest, but I don't know if he Godsbaned or not. He said he knew about the chest, but he thought that I think his impression was that when he opened the chest, they should be there. And I said, no, you have to save, open the chest, see if it's there, and if it's not there, then you Godsbane. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. Yes, he has. But I know, right? um, and so I kind of want him to see. Sometimes when I tell people, "Oh, this chest takes forever," because I'll do a few more, but I honestly I don't. I don't know how many level 3 unpurified weapons, but sometimes I'll tell people this chest takes forever. It's got like a 2% chance or some small number. So and as soon as I say that, I swear to you that I'll open the chest and it'll be sitting right there. So then they expect, I think, that it's right there. I don't know if they watched that whole video. There's another guy, Solja, I think is the other guy that did one, but he actually doesn't come to this chest. And so he doesn't come to, I'm just going to grab that. So he actually doesn't come to this chest. He kind of points to it, and if you don't have a map in front of you, then you aren't really sure. So I wanted him to know it's this chest right here. Whereas Whisper actually comes to the chest, and Godsbane's a ton of times in front of it. He fast forwards through all of it and stuff, but still, I don't need to open any of these other chests. They're all just rift crystals, which the pawns don't get anyway. So let's move on, because there's other chests that I really want. So I wanted him to know that they're there. I'm not going to go through all the other chests that have stuff. Obviously, the girls got this chest.
I wonder what's inside.
This looks interesting.
Good night, Shadow. So, yeah. This is the armor chest. And I don't think he wanted the armor. He wanted the weapons. And I had said there's one in the sewers. I don't even go to it anymore or even point it out because obviously there's somebody else that's done a much quicker video. And as soon as I get to it, anyway, all the leap worms come out and attack the pawns, and then somebody's going to roll in the water, and it's like a pain. And if you don't need the weapons, then there's no reason to go there. I go there so early, like to the chest that's in the sewers, like once I kill Damon, that I go there. And actually the one in the sewers, I don't even know if I go to that one at all, even if I'm desperate. I think I just avoid it altogether and just sigh and go, you know what? I'll just farm Damon, and come through here because you come down here anyway, and there's, two chests of armor, one chest of a weapon, then he'll drop a weapon, and sometimes those dragons drop weapons and stuff too. It's you never I always feel bad when someone doesn't get what they want, especially if they really want, like, say like Sanguine Stalk, and they really want it and they've gotten 10 Dominion Claws in a row, but I know the pain of not getting what I want, like of getting 3 Revenant Whales and a bunch of Blackwing Bows, and you really want Darkening Storm, for example, or getting a bunch of Frame A blades. It's just kind of how it works out, and eventually you'll get it, as long as you and your pawn are like the same thing. It's the armor that drives you nuts, really, because it's most of the time you're looking for, you get the full set, but you never on your first go around get everything you want on the armor you want. Like, you never, it seems like you won't get the boots, or maybe you won't get the hood or something. And there's certain things I can live without. Like on my fighter pawn, for example, it keeps insisting on giving me the Hellfire helm, and I must have several of those. And I'm never going to put it on my pawn, never. I don't like it. I like the Barbarian Chief helm, and that's it, period. And since she can't wear it because she's a fighter, so then I have to give her the Dragon Wing helm, or just anything but you know, the Hellfire helm, because it's just, I don't like it. It does. It drives you nuts. You know, and again, it's not that you won't get like a full Oblivion set or a full Shadow set maybe, or Hellfire, or, fill in the blank, whatever it is that you really are looking for. It's what you want on it, like the things you want on it. So, and especially when you know to like upgrade it is going to cost, say, Rift Crystals. It'd be one thing to say, so I'll get it Red Dragon Forged, but then you're like, oh man, do I waste Bone Lanterns or Scythe Shards or Moon Shimmer Pelts, or, well, that's actually the trophy set, but you know what I'm saying, like some rare item to upgrade something, because I know that down the road, the piece I want is, going to require all of that. And yes, you can dupe it and everything, but we all know how we are in this game. We want what we want. When you get what you want, you just want it Dragon Forged and Gold Forged, and you want to slap it on your pawn or and you're so excited, and now you're like, oh man, at least that's how my mind thinks anyway. um, And so even me standing in front of this chest is somewhat ridiculous, but I know I'm gonna, send this stuff off. And if Roz is looking for stuff, then I'm gonna send her stuff off, right? It'll be post stream, but she's a great pawn. So anybody who's looking on the PlayStation 4, who's looking to hire like a great warrior pawn or a great ranger pawn, there's two pawns for hire. I mean, I have a strider pawn, sure, she's available for hire too, but you've heard me say already I'm like maxed out. So it's not that I don't mind helping people, it's just I'm not on this account as much as I am on, say, my ranger account, the account with Kate or whatever. And plus people like seeing hard mode gameplay for whatever reason, even though, like I've said, I it's tougher on the Arisen than it is on the pawns. I still think they get a pass in some respects.
Open your eyes!
Yep. That's what makes it go nuts. And especially if like you, P, I am looking for like stuff. Do I, when you have an alt or many alts, yes, you have the leisure of being able to hire your own pawns and earn them a lot of Rift Crystals. But but there's a but to that, because at the same time, you're still maybe looking for stuff for yourself, or one of your alts or whatever, and they still have to open up like that stuff and find the enchantment that you want on it. And like I said, like I will kind of gift my alts like a starter pack, and then it's up to me as the player to sort of go through the game and get what I need to get done. And by that I mean I'll give so many things, but then after that it's my personal motivation to get on that and play it so that I earn those things. And I'm sort of torn when it comes to like my Mystic Knight account, because now there's two pawn, or an Arisen and a pawn, fighting for the same type of armor. And I'm always like, well, do I really keep her as a fighter and then um, go ahead and uh, compete for that armor? Do I, or do I make her a strider? She'd be a good strider, because she's got high strength, and then just sort of put her out there, one more strider. I don't know, because there's other people that are making new pawns and they want their pawns hired, and there's all of that. There's a lot. I have this thing, a compass inside of me that sort of debates all the time. There we go. So I'm mostly self-contained, but it's fun when I get a chance to play with like here where I'm playing with Roz. This is a lot of fun because I've not had, like, I can't wait to use her when we go to hard mode and everything, because yeah, we're on normal mode and everything, but I mean, it'll be fun to have her there. It'll be fun to take your ranger pawn with me, for example, like other things. I'm really looking forward to like using different combinations of things. Um, say the one that I have the most leeway with in some respects is when I play on my mage pawn, because then I have two open slots, if you will. So, all right, let's save in front of this before a pawn opens this and I get angry because we'll get a perfect rift crystal here. This is fun. So she's really good. Oh, look at that. But if I hadn't saved, there would have been a perfect rift crystal there and I would have been upset about it. So, yeah, I'm more than happy to. All right, you know what? Let's do this. And there have been other people, it's when a streamer uses, when they can, other than some of their, other than their own pawns, it's kind of nice because then like a pawn gets some exposure. And for a while I did a thing with using like other people's pawns. I definitely do on the Switch. But then you get your preferences, It's funny. You do get your preferences. But again, I'm not on the Switch all that much. So I'm sort of, one poor pawn of mine is stuck in limbo. Like, oh, that guy fell off the edge. Come on, die. Yay. All right. And what's freeing is when you're not looking for things yourself. Like when you're not having to, when you're able to stream and you're not looking for things for yourself all that much. And because you can just sort of fly through the content, and that makes it nice. I still go to places and do all that. I know. It's kind of fun when they fall off the edge like that. That's why I'm so spoiled, because again, when you play something that can hit them from range, and then you got to get up up close and personal as a Mystic Knight. Oh my God! And I again, I'm not the best Mystic Knight there is. Wait, keep my eyeball on the game here. Sometimes death likes to show up when I'm farting around up here. Not that I don't have a quick escape spot, but still. Alright. I don't think well, I do it anyway because it's a habit. Because the minute you break your habit, that's the one time like something horribly bad goes wrong. Alright. Everybody's healed up. We're good to go.
I feel naught but murderous intent beyond.
Yes, you prefer to use random pawns, good and bad. It helps the community to use a variety instead of the same friends. True. It also helps. It's a fun way to help. Um, yep, and there's that, and there's that, and that's why like I feel bad when people, on one hand, will send me a friend request on the PlayStation 4, because they meet me in the community and all, and sometimes I'm the first one to welcome them and stuff. So, and they probably send it to all the moderators because one community has a bunch. Like there's 5 of us, I think. Um, and um, and so you know, there's so, I feel bad when I have to say no, because I also know that right before they sent me that, somebody may have posted their pawn, like for hire, and they'll say, I need rift crystals and all of that. So rather than me say anything, I just sort of wait. I wait it out because chances are they're going to try a bunch of things. But it's true, people do tend to find like a winning combination of things they like to use. So, and I can tell you that for myself, like as a magic archer, there are at certain levels I use different vocations until I get to level 200, and then I sort of lock in on what works for me. And but I also know what will work in general, just because, like if I took a sorcerer along as a magic archer, things are dead way before that poor sorcerer has a chance to cast. So then the person's saying, well, what good was that? It's also, and then there's a habit. Like I said, way 2 hours ago, 2.5 hours ago, I used to only run through Bitter Black with a mage, and my main pawn, whether it be Kate or Barahir, because for the longest time that's all I had, and I used my friend's mage, and then I would, if I had to use somebody else's pawn or I was helping somebody else's pawn, Kate would go and I would pull in somebody else's pawn or somebody else's mage. And I rarely ran anything else because it was really Bear Her and me. That was it. I didn't use Kate much except to hunt the Year Dragon, so I didn't play on that account very much at all. And so but yeah, I didn't really, like I said, I would hire her when I needed her to go hunt the Year Dragon, and then we'd hunt the Year Dragon. I'd send her back, and then I do my thing, and it was sometime in June. Someone said something about build a mage pawn, so I did, and I never really wanted to bother with it, only because you know, uh, other people had them, but they slowly disappeared out of the scene, right? These people that had mage pawns. So I made my own. And it's the same. Like my gem, who is can be one of many things actually. She could be a warrior, she could be a fighter, she could be probably a ranger, she could be a strider, she could be any of those things. And so when I met MTP tonight, and I didn't put the two of you together, by the way, from the community. Just thought I'd throw that out there from the PlayStation 4 community. I didn't put the two of you together, which my name is the same. So, when you were like, "Oh, I've got these," and then there were everything, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I know who you are." Right? And all. And so, yeah, this one, though, I mean, let's be honest here. This is my favorite account to play on, and it's weird, it's odd, and I'll show you why. Because look at those stats. They're really horrible. But it's because I got on and played as a magic archer from level as soon as I could. So I don't know if I might have even been lower than level 20. It was when I first got into Grand Soren, and I've never been anything else. Never switched it off. Well, no, yes, I take that back. I played 5 ranks as a Mystic Knight, and then I went back to Magic Archer. And I know I can play Strider on this account, even with the low strength, because I know how to play it. But, I could pulling Ranger off would be really tough because my strength is so low, so abysmally low. All right, all right, and no, I don't want to give this. Why is this always it wants to you to give that to somebody? Now Kate's getting ready to shoot Great Gamble at him. That's why it looks like she's standing there. Oh, he's behaving himself tonight. He's really behaving himself. Oops. He's super behaving himself. I've had him do so many nasty things to me over the past couple of weeks. Bite me, you know, swoop at me, punch me. I thought I'd dodge him. Shoot his purple flames at me right out of the gate. So this is nice to have an uneventful thing.
No way you've lost that
Oh
spoil.
my gosh. Yep. Yeah. He drops better stuff when I'm in hard, honestly. But he has dropped good stuff for me on normal too. Yeah, 'cause he behaved tonight. He didn't do anything. He just sort of stood there like a noob. Yay for Damon. He behaved himself. That's a shocker. He hasn't behaved himself for me in over a month.
I wonder what's inside.
All right, let me say before I wonder what's inside on me, just in case. I know, I could just, whatever, but, you know. Yeah, he saw Roz, that's it. He was just like, nah, never mind. Never mind. Don't want any part of that. You know what? I don't know if she picked it up yet. Let me make sure. Did you pick that up yet? Okay. Nope. You saw how many of those I have. I do not need another one. Not that I need rift crystals either, but, you know, it's the principle of the thing. It's the principle.
I wonder what's inside.
There we go. All right, wait, did you get the... Grab it. All right, there we go. Well, we are on our way out, and we are on our way out, yes. I said yes, and then my finger pressed no. Holy cow. And at least here in the United States, we have a Thanksgiving tomorrow, and so a lot of people spend it with family, some spend it with friends, but whatever you do, I hope and if it's not Thanksgiving for you, I hope you have a great day. So I'll just say happy Thanksgiving from myself, and it's Gemmalady from Barahir, Kate, and from Roz over there. And so now you've seen a warrior running with the Reckless. Super awesome. And I want you guys to all have a great night and wonderful day. And we'll see you on Saturday night, where I will be on hard mode there. I'm not sure. I am eventually going to transition over to Twitch, especially since stuff with YouTube is so murky right now. I mean, I have my game, and I always have had my stuff ranked a certain way simply because of the ESRB rating on this game. But you never know, and I'm not a big, like, the kind of streamer that they would come after, focus in on, and, you know, decide to make an example of. I think that's going to go more for those people that have other kinds of games and stuff. But I still feel like, you know, there's a platform that offers sort of less risk than YouTube. So the jury's out for me. I haven't decided, but eventually I'm going to probably go over there. But happy Thanksgiving, and thanks to everybody for stopping by. At one point we had like 12 people in here, which is awesome. And like I said, have a safe one, and we will catch you on Saturday. Nighty night.